Today I will show you two examples of calculations for capacity planning and management. This is part of series of lectures on capacity planning, which is part of operations management. This is my lecture outline. First, I will provide you for calculations for number of machines and manpower required. Then I will talk about capacity utilization, capacity cushion. Then I will talk about tool loading, and finally we will solve two exercises to answer the number of machines required and number of manpower required to fulfill the future demand. So type of capacity, as I have told you in my previous lecture, include people and machine. People, that is manpower, they have working days and shifts, and from working days and shifts we need to subtract the number of holidays, number of absence, and other absence from duty like on training, and this calculation results in available capacity. In case of machines, we have working days, and from working days we subtract planned stoppages, that is machine is not working due to any planned reason or planned maintenance, and we need to also account for overall equipment efficiency, which include unplanned stoppages, and this results in the calculation of available capacity of machines. So what is overall equipment effectiveness? Overall equipment effectiveness is equal to availability multiplied by performance score multiplied by quality score, and the availability is the availability in terms of time, and performance score is in terms of productivity, and quality score is in terms of quality product. So availability is equal to actual runtime divided by planned production time, and efficiency is equal to actual output divided by effective capacity. So what is the difference between availability and efficiency? Availability is the equipment ready to produce. So this is the question. Whereas in efficiency, the question is how well it is producing right now. So this is in terms of the time availability, and this is in terms of the products or rate of production. Causes of loss in case of availability include breakdown time, maintenance time, setup time, and part shortages. Whereas causes of loss in efficiency include idling, minor stops, and running below design speed. Now calculations for number of machines or number of manpower required. So let us see few formulas which are involved in intermediary calculations. So first of all, we require information about the standard minute value. It is applicable in case of manpower. It is the time a skilled worker required to complete a specific task while working consistently and efficiently using prescribed tools and equipments. So we should have prescribed tools and equipments. The worker should be consistent and efficient, and he should be skilled worker. So that at that time calculation to complete a specific task is known as standard minute value. Similarly, in case of machines, we have cycle time. It is the time required from raw material to finished good. It may be in any unit of time like in minutes, hours, days. Usually it is in minutes, maybe in hours. Now, then we need to calculate the availability. Availability is equal to percentage of the time that machine actually produces. This is the formula. We have already seen the formula for availability. Let us see an example. So if a machine that does not function due to mechanical failure 10% of time and is in setup, that is does not produce in 5% of time. So we have an availability of 85%. So actual runtime is 85 out of 100. So it is 85%. Then hours available. This is another calculation which is required. Hours available for a machine per time bucket. Time bucket is actually nothing but the time horizon during which we are calculating. So the formula for hours available is equal to number of working hours a day, that is shift hours, multiplied by number of days in time bucket, multiplied by machine availability, which we have already calculated previously. So the formula is equal to working hours multiplied by days multiplied by machine availability. And the similar calculation can be done for the manpower. Then units per hour or units produced per hour. It is the average unit of products per hour that the machine can produce. For example, a hematology analyzer, this is in case of a clinical laboratory with a throughput of 60 per hour, means the number of tests which a hematology analyzer can do is 60 per hour. So manpower we can calculate as standard minute value if it is in minutes multiplied by 60. So we can get the result in hours. And for machine it is cycle time if it is in minutes multiplied by 60. So we get the result per hour. Then time needed per product. Time needed per product is equal to the number of units of products to be produced, that is demand forecast, that is the requirement, divided by the units per hour of the machine. So if we divide the demand by the unit per hour, it will give the total time required. So time needed per product. For example, to run 120 samples, the hematology analyzer will require 2 hours because the requirement is 120 samples and units per hour is 60 in case of analyzer. So 120 divided by 60 is 2 hours. Then production time needed for each machine. This is in case if machine is producing various products. So it is the summation of the time required for all the products. Production capacity is equal to machines hour availability, that is HA divided by cycle time. So this will result in the number of products which a machine can produce. So the number of machines required is equal to the demand divided by production capacity, because the production capacity is actually telling us about the number of products which we can produce in a time bucket, and this demand is also for the same time bucket. So this ratio is the requirement of machine. So this is the expanded formula, that the number of machines required is equal to cycle time multiplied by demand divided by the hours available. So let us take out some other parameters from calculations. So one of the parameter is capacity utilization rate. Capacity utilization rate is equal to the actual output divided by the maximum potential output or the design capacity. It is the extent to which the productive capacities of a business entity are utilized in generating services and goods at any given time. So capacity quotient. I have described in my previous lecture that we should not be working on full capacity. So the difference between our working level and the actual capacity is the capacity cushion. So this cushion is very important as it is helpful in case when there is unpredictable increase in demand. So the capacity cushion is equal to 100% minus capacity utilization, which we have calculated in my previous slide. So tool loading is equal to the production time divided by hours availability. So this is the example of calculations for tool loading in case of clinical laboratory. So we have time bucket here 6 days, that is a week, a working days in a week or 40 working hours. So availability excluding breakdown and setup time is 90%. and hours availability is equal to 4 hours per day multiplied by 6 day multiplied by the availability, which is 90%. So we have 21.6 hours in a time bucket of 6 days. This is the hours availability of machine. Then units produced per hour or throughput of machine or units produced per hour is equal to 60. As throughput is 60, we already know. Demand forecast in this example is 200 CBC samples per day. CBC is a clinical test. So time needed per product is equal to 1200. That is 1200 means 200 per day multiplied by 6 days, because the time horizon here or time bucket is 6 days. So in 6 days, we will be getting 1200 CBC demand. We divide it by the units per hour. So we need 20 hours to fulfill this demand of 1200 in a period of 6 days. So production time needed for each machine is 20 hours, because here there is a single product, only the CBC test. So tool loading here in this case is because we need to have 20 hours to fulfill the demand, but we have the availability of 21.6 hours. So tool loading is 92.6% in this case. So let us go through exercises and solutions in detail so that you can understand better. So the first exercise is how many automated hematology analyzers are needed to satisfy a future demand of 500 samples per day with the following additional information. All samples comes before 10:30 a.m. every day in a day shift of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is an example from a clinical laboratory. So in a day shift of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., machine will run for 3 hours in afternoon in a single batch. The machine throughput is 60 samples per hour and the machine downtime is 10%. So machine is available only for 90% and the machine setup time is 5 minutes. So the availability is 90% minus 5 minutes. So let us see the calculations. So for calculations, I have made this format. So it has a typed information here and here we do the calculations. So I have provided the link for this file of the format in my description below. So this is the information available. The cycle time is 1 minute because the throughput of the analyzer as given is 60 samples per hour. So to run one sample, the machine takes only 1 minute. So cycle time here is 1 minute. Demand forecast is 500 samples per day. Here we will take the time bucket as 1 day and we will calculate in terms of 1 day. So machine availability, which is the 100% minus the downtime minus the setup time. So we have 3 hours per day. So in a day we have 3 hours and the machine is uptime of machine is 90%. So we adjust for the 90% here. Then we subtract 5 minutes, which is the setup time. So the machine is available for 157 minutes per day. So time horizon here is 1 day. Then the hours availability is 157 minutes. So here we are doing calculations in terms of minutes only. We are not converting it into hours. So the production capacity is equal to hours available divided by cycle time, which is the 157 samples per day. Now the demand is 500 samples per day and the production capacity is 157 samples per day. So the number of machines required is 4 analyzers. I hope this is clear. Then let us go to another example where we need to identify the number of manpower required. This is again an example from a clinical laboratory. So for the following year, so next year, how many histopathology technicians experienced in microtomy, and these technicians are known as microtomists. So how many microtomists are needed next year to satisfy a future demand of 80 paraffin blocks per day with following additional information. Demand is uniformly distributed throughout the year and we assume that there are 240 working days in a year in which the sample comes. In a day shift of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., microtomists work for 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon, and it is a tiring job. Standard minute value for microtomy is 1.5 minutes. So, to complete a single unit of task, a microtomist need 1.5 minutes. So, this is known as standard minute value. In case of machine or equipment, it was cycle time. Here, in case of manpower, it is standard minute value. Efficiency of microtomist is 90% and the absenteeism rate is 5%. So let us do the calculations. So again, I am using this format. So standard minute value here is 1.5 minute. Demand forecast is 240 days multiplied by 80 blocks per year, or this is 18,200 blocks per year. So time bucket here is 1 year, or time horizon is 1 year. So manpower availability is, the given information is that efficiency is 90% and absenteeism is 5%. So we calculate the hours availability as hours available is equal to 240 days multiplied by 2 hours per day multiplied by 60 minutes, accounting for 90% efficiency and 95% presence because 5% was absent. So it was 24624 minutes. So production capacity is equal to, we have this many minutes in the following year, and for 1 unit of time, microtomists need 1.5 minutes. So a single microtomist can cover for 16,416 blocks per year. So the number of microtomists required is 2 microtomists in the following year. So these were two examples for the numerical calculations of the capacity planning. This is all for today. Thank you very much.